Russia's military political leadership may agree to end the war if the continuation of hostilities threatens them with the loss of statehood. Expert from Ukraine Vitaly Portnikov stated this on Espreso TV. Polish Foreign Minister Sikorski is right when he says that any country gets exhausted during a long war, even one as large and with such a population as Russia. Of course, if the West were not helping Ukraine, there would be no such danger for Russia. Russia could have waged a slow war for many years and then taken advantage of the result. However, Russia is fighting, one might say, against the financial system and the defense industry of the civilized world. Therefore, at a certain point, Russia may not have enough strength to continue the war, and indeed, an economic collapse may occur in Russia. Portnikov explained. The journalist emphasized that Russia may face a dilemma, either end the war or use nuclear weapons. He believes that such a choice will sooner or later confront the leadership of the Russian Federation. By the way, we often compare modern Russia with what happened to the Russian Empire. However, it seems to me that a better analogy would be Germany during the First World War. Germany capitulated to the Entente powers when there was not a single Allied soldier on its territory. What's more, German soldiers were located in many countries around the world at that time. The military political leadership of Germany then understood that if things continued this way, the country would be destroyed and Allied troops would calmly reach Berlin. They decided it was better to capitulate early, but not lead to a complete collapse of statehood. I think this could also happen in Russia. At some point, they may conclude that if they continue to fight this way, Russia will face a dilemma. Either use nuclear weapons or agree that the war must end. I don't know what Russia will choose, but such a choice will come sooner or later, he added. What is happening is very worrying for Russia's military political leadership. Many of them want President Vladimir Putin to end the war because the situation in the country is critical. Russia's economy is paying growing costs for its expensive war against Ukraine. With Trump back in office in the United States, the new American administration is busy with reaching a quick deal to end the devastating war that harmed not only Ukraine but also Russia. The weakness of Russia's economy could be a decisive factor to force it into negotiations on the West's terms, rather than those of the aggressor. Russia's rapid economic growth is heavily fueled by war spending rather than sustainable productivity. Meanwhile, rising wages have contributed to soaring inflation, which the central bank has struggled to contain. Both citizens and industrialists are feeling the pressure. Food prices are climbing, and doing business is becoming less profitable. Some economists caution that Russia may not just be muddling through, but slowly slipping towards stagflation, a dangerous mix of economic stagnation and high inflation.
Iran's energy minister warned on Saturday that the government might start cutting water supply at nights in the capital city of Tehran as the country faces severe water shortage. "We may need to reduce the water pressure to zero during some nights while residents are asleep," said Abbas Aliabadi on the country's state TV. According to Associated Press, the state broadcaster showed various dams and reservoirs across the country, citing low rainfall as the cause of the critical shortage and urging citizens to conserve water. Iran's president has warned that the capital is facing an unprecedented water and energy crisis as reservoirs have plunged to historic lows, threatening supplies of drinking water and electricity generation. President Masoud Pezeshkian cited reports that Tehran's dam reservoirs have fallen to their lowest level in 60 years. The city has entered its sixth consecutive year of drought, with some dams at less than 10% of capacity. Officials say that in the east of Tehran, the Lat Yen Dam, one of 5 key reservoirs, is only about 9% full. Tehran, a sprawling city of about 9.1 million residents located within a province of roughly 14.5 million people, relies heavily on hydropower and fossil fuels.
متاسفانه بارندگی خوبی هم نداشتیم و 90-92% بارندگیامون نسبت به سال گذشته کاهش داشت و همه این عوامل منجر شده به اینکه ما وضعیت مخزنمون به شرایطی برسه که ما الان توی آبان ماه 8% آب بیشتر نداریم.
حتی ممکنه که مجبور بشیم بعضی از شبها که مردم عزیزمون در واقع آرامش هستن تو اون شبها که کمتر آب مصرف میکنن در واقع فشار آب را تا حد صفر پایین بیاریم و این خب کمک میکنه به اینکه در واقع ما هدر رفت آب نداشته باشیم. اما ممکنه برای مردم عزیزمون زحمت ایجاد بکنه. من تقاضا میکنم که نسبت به نصب ذخیره ساز حتما اقدام بکنن.
Deadly typhoons tore through the Philippines and Vietnam, causing large-scale destruction. Videos capturing the aftermath of the typhoons have been released. Typhoon Kalmiji left 139 dead with 79 others missing in the central Philippines, many in widespread flooding that trapped people on their roofs and swept away scores of cars in hard-hit Cebu province. Video showed cars tipped on their sides in muddy floodwaters on Friday in Cebu province. Typhoon Kalmiji displaced over 560,000 villagers in the Philippines, including nearly 450,000 who were evacuated to emergency shelters, the Office of Civil Defense said. More than 318,000 others are still in evacuation shelters. The next approaching storm, Feng Wang, was growing as it headed toward the Philippines over the Pacific. State forecasters said Feng Wang, known as Yuan in the Philippines, could grow to a massive estimated 1,400 km before it makes landfall in northern Aurora province or nearby regions. They warn that it could hit the densely populated area around the capital, Manila. In Vietnam, Typhoon Kalmiji brought fierce winds and torrential rains on Friday, killing at least 5 people and leaving widespread damage across the country's central provinces. As floodwaters receded, recovery work began in battered towns and industrial zones, with local authorities and residents clearing debris and repairing roofs to millions affected across the central Vietnam. 5 people were killed, 3 in Dak Lak and 2 in Gia Lai provinces, while 3 others remained missing in Quang Nai, according to state media. 6 people were injured. 52 houses collapsed and nearly 2,600 others were damaged or had their roofs blown off, including more than 2,400 in Gia Lai alone. Power outages affected over 1.6 million households. The deaths in Vietnam come just days after the powerful storm battered the Philippines and left scores dead or missing.